Have you ever wondered, who is the strongest Genshin Impact character lore-wise? Then let me introduce to you the primordial one, the one with many names like the Usurper King, the Great Sovereign, the Master of the Four Shades, the Master of Heavens, the Heavenly Principles. He is born from an egg and androgynous in nature. He has wings and a crown. In order to know the true strength of the primordial one, we have to look at his feats and statements. For instance, he came to this world and defeated the 7 dragon sovereigns, alongside the 4 shades created from his own body. The dragon sovereigns were the old rulers of the world, and they're the 7 foremost elemental dragons at the pinnacle of the raw and primitive elemental forces. The primordial one is stronger than full-power Nuvoletta, who is stated to be a rival and an equal to the mortal realm. Stronger than a Pep, who is able to destroy the entire Teyvat continent. Stronger than Ajdaha, who is capable of trembling the world with only movements. And stronger than Nibelung, who needed the power of the abyss, a kind of power which almost collapsed the entire world and caused great risk to the Irminsul itself. And as the first descender, he should naturally have a will to rival the world, which is explained to be able to protect the world, sustain the world, destroy the world, and create the world. But none of these compare to the primordial one's greatest feat, which is separating the universe and the microcosm of the world, which scales to universal level. The eggshells from which the primordial one was born were used as borders to the planet. After that, the primordial one recreated the world using the 7 elements: pyro, hydro, anemo, electro, dendro, cryo, and geo, as well as creating the heavens, which include both the floating island Celestia and the Celestial Atlas, which is where the first cutscene happened, and it's the same place in the loading screen. What's interesting is that this place appears to go on forever and doesn't seem to have an end. This is backed up by the fact that King Deshret called it the Boundless Paradise. The primordial one also created the Irminsul, which is a tree whose roots spread all over the world and records history. Other things were also created, such as 3 moons, a sun, weight, and the concept of time. As I said before, the 4 shades are gods created by the primordial one from himself. The shade Istaroth was stated to be a higher power by Raiden. Each of these shades can manipulate each of the following concepts: life, death, time, and space, which are things that the primordial one is also capable of manipulating, since he's the one who gave the shades their powers, and he has used some of these abilities before, such as creating plants, animals, and human life. The primordial one was also said to be capable of manipulating the constellations, in other words, the fate of all life that resides in Teyvat. Just like the twins, the primordial one is also capable of using the light element, due to being able to control all 7 elements. And it's also stated the remains of the celestial nails that the primordial one created emit light and glow in the dark. They also possess the ability to purify the power of the abyss, which is also another thing that the traveler can do. Speaking of celestial nails, we know that the primordial one dropped them on Teyvat. For example, one was thrown on Dragonspine, and it's the source of the sub-zero climate and the never-ending snow. Another was hurled on Tsurumi Island, which caused the blinding fog. And one was launched on Sumeru, which created the large desert we see today alongside the hot and dry atmosphere. The primordial one can manipulate the weather. For example, he can make it rain or snow, create tornadoes, thunderstorms, sandstorms, or snowstorms. As we all know, the primordial one stole the powers of the sovereigns and stored them in the noses, which he created from the remains of the 3rd descender, and later it was given to the 7 winners of the Archon War. And theoretically, the primordial one is also involved in the vision's distribution process. This means that he is capable of stealing and gifting powers. The primordial one also possesses the ability to seal, since he sealed Enkanomiya to prevent its inhabitants from returning to the surface. It's common knowledge that the heavenly principles cursed the Kenrians with immortality, or turning them into monsters. They can also curse immortal beings, such as Ajdaha and Morax, with erosion, which is stated to be the greatest destroyer of memories. The primordial one is also omnipresent, via Istaroth, the time shade being one herself, as her statue is called the statue of the omnipresent god, and she's also stated to be every moment. In addition to that, the primordial one could possibly be omniscient, via the Irminsul, which stores informations. To conclude, the primordial one scales to universal level and owns the following abilities: the manipulation of ice, water, earth, nature, lightning, fire, wind, light, sand, fog, weight; the manipulation of life, death, time, space; thermal manipulation, cosmic manipulation, fate manipulation, curse manipulation, concept manipulation, information manipulation, weather manipulation, sealing, power absorption, power bestowal, purification, creation, flight, wings, manifestation, immortality, omniscience, omnipresence. As you can see, the primordial one is extremely strong and stacked with multiple powerful abilities, and that's why he's the strongest in the Genshin Impact verse. Thank you for watching till the end. Please consider subscribing for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.